What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blank9 here today to chat with you more about some Call of Duty Warzone. And today, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Warzone servers. I've held off making this video quite a lot, actually. I've held off and I've held off and I've held off, and I've had a lot of experiences with these servers, a lot of things Infinity Ward and Activision are saying, and it's all come down to this video right here, where I'm going to sort of summarize my experience, show you guys in-game clips, and then make a judgment based on everything I've been saying. So in this video right now, it's not going to be anything crazy. You're not going to see me getting crazy kills. You're not going to be seeing me squad wipe teams. You're just going to see me just normally playing the game and experiencing these servers, just normally playing the game. Sometimes it'll be through gunfights. Sometimes it'll just be me moving around the map. But every single time that I feel that these servers come crashing down, a lot of the times it's at crucial points. When I'm in a gunfight, when it's like the squads, maybe it's 3 squads left and you're trying to fight to win the game. For me, and there's sometimes where you're just moving around the map and the server just lags. But for me, at least, one of the constants here with Modern Warfare, not even just Warzones, not even just servers, but Modern Warfare in general, is a lack of communication. There has been a distinct lack of communication from Infinity Ward and Activision's side when it comes to these servers and what they're doing to amend the fact that these servers are fucking garbage, and that's what they are. They're garbage. There's a lot of garbage things, about Modern Warfare servers, skill-based matchmaking, safe spaces, and Warzone servers is one of them. The problem I have here is that while yes, they gave us a double XP, double weapon XP, double tier skip weekend for the fact that the servers, as a result of the most recent patch, fucked everything. Like, the servers are fucked after the most recent patch. So they gave us that little incentive there. But what about all the times before that? What about the launch of Warzone? What about throughout Season 2, start of Season 3? It literally hasn't only been going on since the previous patch rolled out. It's literally been going on throughout the whole time that Warzone has been out. And nothing's been done to fix it, nothing's been done to remedy it, only things like, oh, we're investigating, or oh, we'll give you this double XP as a thanks. Like, I understand, right? At this point in time, it's hard to work, and especially with the studios in the States. Like, the States are in a rough place right now in terms of what, like, the pandemic that's going on, and I understand that it may be difficult to do some sort of maintenance with the servers, but even before the lockdown, this shit was going on. Even before that. So what stopped them then? What stopped them before from fixing it? What stopped them before from at least having some sort of open communication about, hey, this is happening, this is what we're doing to fix it, this is a rough estimate on when these fixes will occur. I think that if that sort of communication were to happen, then we'd be seeing a much happier community in terms of servers. When you talk about servers, and when you talk about lag and lag spikes and all that sort of stuff, it's easy to sort of pin it down to, oh, your internet's trash, or whatever the case may be. Bottom line is, if my internet in Australia, like, Australian internet is nothing to be, like, boasting about and all that sort of stuff. I get 100 down, 100 up. And for a lot of people, that's shit and slow. But for a lot of Australians, at least, that's pretty good for Australia. My girlfriend gets 5 down and 0.1 up, like 5 down, 1 up. Like, that's how far behind Australia is in terms of internet. But when she lags, and then I experience that lag as well, and everybody in the squad experiences that lag at the same time, you know it's not a personal internet problem. You know it's a server problem. And it all comes down to them, 1, maybe addressing that, but not fixing it. 2, not being open with the problems that they're having in terms of servers. And 3, maybe if they just came out and said they're having problems and they're looking to fix it and when they're going to fix it, everyone would be a lot happier. I understand that there's a lot of people playing Warzone at this point in time. It was Season 3 is one of it was Modern Warfare's most successful season in terms of players playing the game, playtime, and while yes, quarantine and all that sort of stuff has played a factor into it, you can't escape the fact that a lot of people are playing Call of Duty right now. So why aren't the servers and the infrastructure in place to accommodate for this sort of load? When Warzone had that massive spike at the beginning when it first came out, wouldn't you think Infinity Ward would go, oh, this game's popping right now, the situation in the world doesn't seem to be going away, if we do end up going into quarantine, we should upgrade the servers because a lot more people will be playing our game. That would be the smart decision, that would be the logical decision to make, and they didn't make that. We're still experiencing laggy as fuck servers. We're still experiencing lag spikes in the worst times possible. I had an instance where to be fair, I had no right to win that game. To be fair, I literally had no right to win the game. It was one of those games where literally everything was against you. Like the drop, the gulag, what happened after the gulag, like the loot you got, everything didn't work out for me. But I found myself placing top 2. And the only reason I didn't win that game was because within the final fight, within the final gunfight, the server lagged. And I downed one, there was 2 left, so it was a 2v2. At the start of it, it was a 3v2. It ended up being a 2v2 because I downed one of the guys. As soon as I downed that one guy, server started lagging. As soon as the server stopped lagging, I'm dead. So, and it's not like that lag just happened for me. It happened for my teammate as well. And it's not like, oh, it's just the internet's trash or whatever. Like, instances like that where you lag to the point where you are at a disadvantage in a final gunfight that will make or break you winning the game, instances like that happen all the time. It's frustrating and it's ridiculous how, in my opinion, Infinity Ward is focused more on playlist updates and weapon balancing, when what they should be mainly focused on is having a playable fucking game. Warzone is incredible. I love Warzone. I love everything about it. I think it's one of the best things to come out of Call of Duty in a long time. And for me, it's really reignited that sort of spark that Call of Duty was missing, at least for me, for a long time. And I understand and I acknowledge people's differing opinions. Some people don't like Warzone. Some people think it's awful. Some people think it's a bad battle royale. But for me personally, I like it a lot better than Blackout, and I think it's a lot more playable than Blackout. And maybe that's in terms of the free-to-play aspect, maybe that's in terms of the cross-play aspect, but for me personally, Warzone is some of the most fun I've had in Call of Duty for a long time. It's just unfortunate that the servers are fucking garbage, and honestly, with the amount of money they make off of fucking microtransactions, they should be able to afford to improve and then upgrade the server infrastructure. Wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't that just make the most sense in the world to accommodate the amount of players you have playing your game by upgrading the servers to allow for everyone to have a better online experience? And while you could argue that it's based on skill-based matchmaking, and while yes, to an extent, it's frustrating to be paired up against people on the other side of the world, but while skill-based matchmaking is a major factor into the game, connection is also a factor in there. Whether it be a big part or a little part, connection is a factor somewhere in there. And while I acknowledge that it's not a massive factor, Infinity Ward's not stupid. They know that a multiplayer connection-based shooter needs to thrive off of proper servers that will not hinder the gameplay side of the game, essentially. And at this point in time, it's hindering that gameplay side of the game. So I find it frustrating how they don't at least, I don't know, be, maybe vulnerable is not the right word to use, but just be honest and not just be like, we're investigating, because that's all you fucking see on Twitter, right? We're investigating, blah blah blah. And when the shit's going down, when my girlfriend is waiting 1 hour to get into the fucking game because it's taking that long to fetch the online profile, download the updates and all that sort of stuff, when people are having login issues, when people are having server issues, for Infinity Ward and fucking Ashton, the community manager, not to come out and explain what's happening and to communicate with people with what's happening. That's the most frustrating thing when you're going to third party fucking like down detector, third party instances to get your information on what the fuck is happening. That shouldn't happen, and that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense why literally the people in charge of the game who are meant, and the person who's in charge of talking to the community doesn't talk to the community when things like this happen, which frustrates me, it angers me, and it doesn't make sense in my head, because communication is key. Throughout this whole year of Modern Warfare, if you've watched my videos throughout, you know that I value communication more than anything. Transparency, communication, honesty, all that shit. If that was happening, my problems with the servers, whilst they would still be there, they would be lessened, because I would know in my head that they're doing something to fix it. I have no idea if they're doing anything to fix the servers. None of us have any idea if they're doing anything to fix the servers here in Warzone, and that's frustrating, that's annoying, and I don't think that should be the case. But I've ranted and I've raved long enough. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, comment down below, let me know what you think about the servers here in Warzone. Do you have any stories, any experiences? Let me know all that stuff. Share your frustration with me in the comments down below. Click subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss out on my next video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Pull up in the gold, I'm leading. But them other man need feeding. I don't wanna go Bombay. Them I don't know what I do when I go from Beeling. Leading the pack in black and I'm on with a bag. Snapping with a phone and dab. Boss up a man with a duster. Put him in the drip and sip blockbuster. Win, 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 that's the only ammo. Ring, 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 I reply with NO. Call me Leno, had it hot. Switch up.